Babushka, a traditional Russian story. Once upon a time, in a little house deep in the forest, there lived an old woman called Babushka. Although she lived all alone, Babushka never felt lonely. She was always busy, cooking, cleaning, sewing, or gathering wood, and as she worked, she would sing to herself. The songs, old ones as well as new ones she'd made up, kept her company through the day. It was many miles to the nearest town, and a long way to her nearest neighbours. So Babushka hardly ever had any visitors. One day, however, in the middle of winter, she heard voices through the trees. The voices grew louder. They were coming towards her. Babushka ran excitedly into the house. She put the kettle on the hob, then hurried out to fetch some more logs for the fire. She had just brought them in when there was a loud knock at the door. "Who is it?" called Babushka. "Three weary travellers, good woman," a voice answered. "We can't find our way through the forest, and it is growing dark outside. Can you give us shelter so we can rest for a few minutes before we go on our way?" At once, Babushka flung open the door. "Come in," she beamed. "You are most welcome to rest yourself by the fire. Have some tea to warm you up." One by one, the travellers came in. First, there was a young man who smiled at her. Then he turned to help an older man who looked very tired indeed. The last man was tall and fierce-looking, with shiny gold rings in his ears. All three shook the snow from their rich, finely decorated clothes and sat around the fire. Babushka made some good, strong tea for them and cut slices of bread. And as she did so, she asked the men where they were going. "We don't know," answered the young man. "It's all very strange. We are searching for a baby prince. His star has guided us all this way. But now the sky is so full of snow that we can't see it anymore." "Don't worry," said Babushka, not quite understanding. "When you've eaten, I'll show you where the road is, and then you won't need to follow a star." "You are very kind," the young man answered, "but only the star can lead us to the Christ child." "A child and a star?" Babushka was astonished. "What can this mean?" Then the old man explained to her that the star was the sign of a holy child's birth, which had been sent to lead them. He showed Babushka rich presents that they were taking to give the child when they found him. Babushka's eyes were glowing. "I wish I could see this child," she murmured. "Come with us," they cried, "all together. Help us in our search." But Babushka shook her head sadly. "I'm too old to travel," she said, and she began pouring out the tea. When the three men had eaten and rested, they thanked her for her hospitality and set off again through the trees. The house seemed suddenly very empty. Babushka sat in her rocking chair, rocking slowly, with a thoughtful look on her face. Suddenly, she jumped to her feet. "I will," she cried. "I will join the search. I'll go tomorrow, so I will." Quickly, Babushka packed a small bundle of clothes. Then she collected all her greatest treasures to take as presents to the Holy Child. A wooden horse, a doll, a cloth ball, a few painted fir cones and some pretty feathers. Early the next morning, she dressed in her warmest clothes and left the house. She set off in the direction the travellers had gone, but fresh snow had quite covered their tracks. "Have three kings passed this way?" she asked the farmer. "Kings in this weather? What a foolish question," roared the farmer, and he stomped away crossly. Then she met a shepherd. "Have you seen a bright star?" she asked him eagerly. "Thousands," he chuckled, "right above you, and they all shine brightly." A herdsman trudged past her with his herd of cattle. "Have any baby princes been born here lately?" Babushka questioned him anxiously. "We've plenty of babies," he replied, "but not a prince among them." She tramped on wearily, stopping everyone she met to ask, "Have you seen the Christ child, please?" But no one could help her. And to this very day, Babushka has never stopped searching. She still travels her country looking for the baby prince, and whenever she meets with a child who is sick or unhappy, she digs deep into her pack and always finds a little toy to make them smile.